Again, we want the person who's looking at the listening or watching the podcast, why understanding Medicare matters for financial and health decisions.
Well, I'll put it in a short sound bite, and everybody's heard this before. Health is wealth.
There you
So,
go.
in the old adage of individuals or clients that I dealt with in wealth management, we had a saying, and this was a question that we would ask some individuals, and it's not an unanswerable question, but at what rate would your investments need to be at in order for you to retire um, with a certain amount of money? So when we ask at what rate, um, what kind of return are we talking about? No one knows what our exit, our exit date is. So we don't want you to run out of time or out of money, and then you don't have enough time to make that back up. So the key factor is in the health plan is to make sure that I've had people to say, I have part A, I think I have part B, and I go to try to enroll them, and they're like, well, you don't have part B yet because you're not eligible. So then that's where we come in to help make sure that we're filling that gap. So to speak on I've spoken on the wealth side because once you're investing money and your money is growing at a certain length of time, you kind of have an idea as to spreading those out, those contributions that you receive. With healthcare, it's a little bit different because people's health changes over time. I mean, 10 years from now, you become a person who has some chronic illnesses, and it does
It's
happen
so,
based on
yep.
stress and other things. So then we want to make sure we look at other components that you qualify for, and people aren't aware. Chronic, what does that mean? So that's a chronic special needs plan, and it just means that you have access to additional coverage that you weren't even aware of. But if we don't ask those questions, we won't even know. So when I say health is wealth, it's extremely important. I would say health is even more important than the wealth part sometimes because you can make up the wealth. You can't make up the time, but if you have the right health care, you'll be here to enjoy, the fruits of your labor.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I think you touch on it exactly what I think people need to understand. The reason why it's important for you to understand Medicare, why that matters, because I think, James, you said it perfectly. Your health, for most people, your healthcare needs change. So when it's time for you to make the decision as far as how or what type of coverage you're going to get when it comes to your Medicare, it's important for you to understand. And that's one of the things that I wanted to for people to understand, that understanding Medicare is important because it affects your financials. It also affects your health decisions. The better understanding you have about Medicare, how it works, and all the different parts and how they work together, the more empowered you will be to make the right financial decisions moving forward. So, and also encourage people, don't make long-term decisions based on short-term circumstances, right? So, especially when it comes to Medicare.